let's see what's on Twitter today. Oh, what? A notification from Ed Boon. Let's see what it is. Am I seeing this right? This week should be fun. Huh. I guess we're getting the MK12 reveal this week.
Fresh goes better in life, with mental fresh and full of life. Now
So, if you're like me and you woke up this morning and saw this tweet from Ed Boon, you probably freaked out a little bit. I did a little bit for sure. So, it seems like we are definitely getting the MK12 reveal this week. I know I made a video last week. I made a fool of myself. Damn kids. Anyway, I made a video last week wrongfully predicting when we were gonna get the reveal, and I said last week it would have been on like a Friday or a Thursday, but then like once the weekend hit, I started to think more about that teaser with the clock and then it going to 1. Again, I still don't think the story has anything to do, or that 1 has anything to do with the story rebooting. It was definitely a more of a sign of when the reveal was, and you know, lo and behold, 1 week later we're getting the reveal. So to those that are saying the reboot is gonna happen because of the 1, no, I'm sorry, but we'll really tell once the reveal comes out, either tomorrow or Friday, or possibly even this weekend. Don't know which day exactly, but it seems like it's coming this week. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that info in there real quick. I know I'm rambling on a little too much right now, but the main purpose of this video is the MK12 roster prediction. I just happened to see this news and I'm like, oh, might as well, you know, get this out there. I don't post fake shit or leaks, or you know, if I do talk about stuff, it's speculation on my end. I don't use credible sources that say stuff like Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be called Mortal Kombat 1 and the timeline's getting rebooted. Like, no, I don't post that kind of stuff. I talk about what I think is going to happen, just based off my speculation alone. I don't take outside sources or outside information into account at all. I use my own thoughts, and it's just really not even worth believing leaks because, you know, like 80% of the time they're false. So it's better to just wait for your judgment for the reveal to actually happen. And yeah, so let's just get on with the roster prediction. Alright, so here we have Tier Maker. If you don't know what this website is, it's mainly a tier list for, you know, you can make a tier list for whatever. Best fatality, best design, whatever. But, you know, by the title of this video, I'm doing an MK12 roster prediction, and I'm going to be taking Ed Boon's tweets into account. Back when he did an AMA, I think it was around December of last year or January. So he kind of revealed or hinted at some characters that could return, so we're definitely going to be taking those into account. But starting off, the characters that will definitely be in the game, I'm just going to throw these in there like right away. We got Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Scorpion. Like, these are just givens. Sonya, Kung Lao. We'll put Kung Lao next to Liu Kang. Baraka, he's part of the OG cast. Who am I missing? Oh yeah, Kano. Where's Kano? Boop, he's part of the OG roster. Johnny Cage. Where's Johnny? Johnny. I hate that these aren't... Wait, are these in? Yeah, they are. I'm dumb. So Johnny. So we got, you know, the Shaolin monks. And then we got the ninjas. We got Sonya and Johnny, Baraka and Kano. Baraka didn't come until MK2, but right here is the original cast. So I definitely don't think we're ever going to get an MK without these characters because they were day one. They were the characters that built Mortal Kombat. So these are just automatically in. Plus story-wise, you know, they're still in the story. So now this is where we start, you know, taking stuff more into account, especially Ed Boon's tweets. So one tweet I can recall is him saying that Tremor will be a very, very likely character to return. So we'll just go and throw him in as what Ed Boon said. It seems like it can be a very guaranteed, you know, spot for Tremor. Another character he said that has a very likely chance of returning is Tanya. We didn't see her in MK11. She was in MKX though. And who am I missing? Is Stryker on here? Because that was another character. I don't think Stryker is on here. But Ed Boon hinted heavily at Stryker, saying he has a very likely chance to return. And if you don't remember the space that Ed Boon hosted, I think like 2 weeks ago, where he played all the different songs, he played a song by The Police. And if you put 2 and 2 together, The Police, Stryker. So if I had Stryker in here, we'll just go ahead and put a question mark and pretend like this is Stryker. So Stryker definitely, I think, will be in the game. Next up, let's just throw in some characters who definitely won't be in the game, and that's Kronika. And is Kronika on here? Anyway, okay, yeah, Cetrion definitely won't be in here because she's dead, but even though being dead in the Mortal Kombat universe doesn't mean anything, I still don't think we're gonna see Cetrion. So Ed Boon did hint at 3D era characters. I don't know which, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in the maybe will be in the game. But we know 3D era characters will be in Mortal Kombat 12, and we're starting with Hotaru. We know Hotaru's pretty popular, I feel like, and just his design alone, I really dig. It's super sick. Do I think? Oh yeah, where's Havoc? Is Havoc on here? Yes, Havoc. Havoc, I definitely think he will be in the game as a 3D era character. Another one I think will be in is Reiko, because someone tweeted at Red Boon saying whoever he's hyped for, and like the keywords are hyped for, like future reference. Like, who are you hyped for in the future? And they asked Shao Kahn or Reiko, and Ed Boon answered Reiko. And if you want to watch my other video where I go over some of these tweets regarding character hints, I'll link it in the description, or it'll be up in the top right here. So just go ahead and watch that later if you want. But so 3D era characters, I definitely think these 3 will be in. Another one I think will be in is Natara. She was in the last Mortal Kombat movie that released in 2019, I believe. So I feel like she has a good chance of returning. Some more characters I definitely don't think are making it in are Darius and Dairu. Meat definitely is not making it in. He's just a joke character. Jarek, he's not coming back. He was kind of just a replacement for Kano in MK4, and we haven't seen him since, so I don't think we'll ever see Jarek ever again. One 3D era character I definitely think we can see is Li Mei. She was in the Mortal Kombat X story mode, but she wasn't playable. She was like part of the operator, or she was an operator for the special forces. So she was like communicating with Jax and Sonya and Johnny, not Johnny, but Sonya and Jax. So I feel like, and she's a really like wanted 3D era character. So I have a good feeling she could make it in to the game, maybe even the main roster. If not the main roster, definitely DLC. So now for some more characters that will definitely be in Shang Tsung. He's very big and, like, you know, head of the storyline right now. If you don't know the two, well, I'm sure you know because you're a Mortal Kombat fan. Anyway, Shang Tsung's definitely in. I can't see him not being in MK12. If he's gonna be portrayed by Kerry Tagawa, that I don't know. So maybe they'll just do a CGI version of Shang Tsung, or just try to maybe even just reuse assets from MK11 Shang Tsung so they can carry over Kerry Tagawa's look, maybe, and just upgrade him, make him look better in the Unreal Engine 4 or 5. Next up, I definitely think we're gonna see the Cyborgs return, because they were in MKX, but not as their own separate characters. They were as Triborg, which is right here. I think this is Triborg or Cyborg Smoke, but yeah, these were part of a variation and one character. So I definitely have a feeling these two will come back as their own separate character, because they're just too popular. They're part of the original trilogy cast. UMK or MK3, were they in MK3? I can't remember, but they were definitely very popular and loved. Chronica, she's gone. Devora, I think she'll make it back. She's part of the story, and she's really popular. I feel like she's a mainstay of Mortal Kombat at this point. How could I forget Kitana? Kitana's right here. So yeah, we got the Shaolin monks and then Kitana. I put Kitana next to Liu Kang because they're pretty much like together. They're gonna rule the next timeline or whatever it may be. Ermac is definitely returning because, again, he's just one of the most popular ninjas out there. He's super loved. He was missing from MK11. Actually, matter of fact, he was dead in MK11. His sole purpose was to just die.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And it's upsetting because they gave him one of the sickest designs. And I kind of hope this design carries over from MK11 and they just make it look better in the new engine, because that was one of the best designs I've ever seen for Ermac. One character that has been DLC twice, but I think is now part of the main roster, is Rain. We just can't have an MK without the ninjas. Ermac, Tremor, Ermac, Scorpion Sub, and Rain. They're just the more beloved ninjas, and Reptile. Most of these characters, again, were just missing from MK11, so they definitely have a good chance of returning, and I can't see them, missing another MK game. That would just be a little absurd. So next up are the Adenia sisters. We got Melina. I think Scarlet will be part of the main roster as well. She was DLC in MK9. She wasn't in MKX, but then she came back in MK11. So I have a good feeling she will be part of the main roster at this point. Also can't forget Noob Saibot with the ninjas, because he's just one of the most sickest ninjas to exist in Mortal Kombat, and is actually my favorite MK character in all of existence. So Noob, I definitely can see coming back. Geras, I don't think we will be seeing, because in the story he was chained and then thrown down into the Sea of Blood. So unless he uses some kind of time power to where he can escape that, actually we'll throw Geras maybe in, and like maybe I mean hard maybe. So, and this may be upsetting for some people, but this character I definitely think will be a maybe. And I kind of skipped Raiden over the original cast on purpose. And that's because at the end of MK11, he fuses with Liu Kang. And then they eventually separate, but then Raiden's just mortal Raiden. He doesn't have his powers. Unless Liu Kang relinquishes his powers back to Raiden, I just can't see Raiden being in the next MK game, and that's going to be upsetting for a lot of people, especially me, because I'm a Richard Epcar fan. Just his voice for Raiden Joker is astounding. I love Richard Epcar, and you should too. He's an amazing voice actor. He actually voices over like 1,100 different characters, including anime characters. Sorry to rant or go on a ramble about Richard Epcar, but he just voices one of the best characters in video game history, and that's going to be really upsetting if he's not in MK12, even like at least in some way. Even if he's not playable, hey, he can even become DLC too. So if not in the main roster, definitely DLC, because he's just too popular of a character. Some now Smoke definitely. I forgot Smoke. But yeah, Smoke definitely, I feel like, is a heavy contender for returning. Goro, yeah, we already know about his fate. Shao Kahn, maybe, we shall see. He was DLC, but he was also part of the main story. So he could have a good chance of making it in, but we're just gonna put him in the maybe because we don't absolutely know for sure. Shiva. I'm gonna put in the maybe because, again, she's like not super popular. People just, really like her for abusing her down up stomp, and we already know what happened with Mortal Kombat 11. If you don't know, that AT&T tournament like last year or 2 years ago, there was a streamer that got Shiva stomped, and she literally started crying.
Damn it. I can't do anything. Shit. I know it's supposed to be fun. I get it. I shouldn't be crying, but I really can't do anything. This sucks.
So, I don't think we're gonna see Shiva ever again. I mean, I wouldn't say ever again, but I don't think she's coming back for MK12 at least. A character I'm gonna put in maybe, actually 2 characters I'm gonna put in maybe, but I definitely want them to return, is Takeda and Kung Jin, because they weren't explored enough in MKX. They were kind of just like, hey, here's the combat kids, and now they're gone, and the only combat kids that came back were Cassie and Jackie. So I want to see these characters explored more. Takeda, if you don't know, is pretty much a descendant of Scorpion. Scorpion trained him, that's why he has those whips, or those, I don't know what you call them. They're really fucking dangerous whips. That's all I know. They cut your limbs off, but and he has these lasers that he can throw down in MKX and then use them as traps. So I definitely want to see him explored, even story-wise more, and gameplay-wise. Kung Jin, same way. He was just kind of introduced. He was explored a little bit. They were like, hey, like, there was a part where you figured out Kung Jin was gay, but like, who cares? It's not really much of exploration when it comes to character. Sure, you learn their sexuality, but like, I want to know more of like his past, past Kung Jin self, and then, present MK Day. So these 2 characters definitely want to see explored more. They're just too sick. Jade, maybe, because she was kind of killed in, she was kind of killed in MK11 by Scarlet. So maybe she'll return. Maybe she will be one of the Adenian sisters that will not return. So we'll just get Mileena and Katana. But this is just like a heavy maybe. I think she has a good chance of returning because she's a fan favorite. Jax definitely is returning. Jackie, this is where I have a fork in the road. I don't know if the combat kids will come back. I mean, Cassie is a fan favorite. A lot of people like her, including myself. Cassie's a really cool character. I just love her little bubbly and cocky attitude. She's, just like her dad, which is cool. I'm just gonna throw her in. She will be in the game. Same with Jackie. I feel like these are just mainstays of Mortal Kombat at this point. Kenshi, I have a good feeling he will, but I'm not gonna put him in. Will be in the game. But a definitely heavy maybe, because he's, again, another favorite character amongst the community. So I wonder what they're going to do with him in the story if they do bring him into MK12. Su Hao, he's a joke character. I don't think he will be ever again in a Mortal Kombat game. And actually, I'm going to throw Jade in DLC, because if she doesn't make it in the main roster, I can definitely see her being in as DLC. Another character I'm looking at that I think will be in for sure, because he's part of the main story, is Fujin. He was, pretty much part of the whole Aftermath expansion, so I just can't see him not being in MK12. Now here's where I might upset a lot of people, especially Kotal Khan fans, because I don't think he will be in the game. He's just kind of a jobber, and he got killed by Shao Kahn. We thought Kotal was going to be the better of the Khans, but obviously he's not. So I can see him sitting out in MK12, maybe even coming back as DLC. We'll just keep him in DLC, but if not, I don't think he'll be in the game. Chameleon. Chameleon's the kind of character that's like Mokujin from Tekken. And Chameleon only appeared in Armageddon. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put not in the game, because I can't see NRS making a character that's like Mokujin that, has the style of every character. That'd be a lot of work, so I don't think he will be in the game. Ashra, I'm going to put in as a heavy maybe, because she's part of the 3D era characters that Ed Boon was talking about. She wasn't specifically, but I'm just going to throw her in that group of 3D era characters that could potentially return. Quan Chi, maybe. I don't know. He was just kind of killed off in MKX and then never really talked about again. So he is another fan favorite, though, so I can see him returning, even though story elements say he's not. Nightwolf, maybe. He was very popular in MK11. Quite a few, people played him, even online, amongst the online community. He was very popular. So I can see Nightwolf returning, but we'll just go ahead and put him in the maybe. Sindel, definitely. She will be in. Not really much to say about her. She was in MK11. She's a fan favorite. Yeah, I just think she's in no matter what at this point. Draman. Again, I'm going to throw him in that group of maybe possible 3D era characters. So I'm just putting most of the 3D era characters in maybe, because we know some of them will be in. I just don't know which ones will. If I were to say, though, which ones will be guaranteed in MK12, I will definitely throw Havoc in there. And maybe even Natara, because she was, again, part of the Mortal Kombat 1 movie. So maybe they even want to introduce some of the movie characters, even though they're 3D era characters originally, into MK12. So I can see her definitely being in Mortal Kombat 12. Aaron Black, he's an immortal asshole, so I can see him being in MK12. Dagon and Taven, I don't think we're going to see those characters again. These characters, they were just kind of there. I'm going to cut this whole part out. I just don't think these characters will be in. Lady Chameleon, again, I don't think is another character that will be in. Now, Kintaro, DLC, because MKX and MK11 had Shao Kahn or MKX had Goro, and then MK11 had Shao Kahn respectively. So I can definitely see Kentaro, maybe even Motaro, making it in as DLC boss characters. Just throw both of them in. Why not? Fuck it. Shinnok, I don't think he'll make a return. Maybe. I'll put him in maybe. Because he's technically not, like, dead. He's still being kept alive. Because you can't really kill an Elder God. Like, you know, the beginning of that video where I think it was the Aftermath expansion, Raiden cuts his head off. Because he's like, there are
Fate's worse than death.
Yeah, maybe he'll return. We'll see. Collector, I don't think he will return. He's just kind of a weird character, in my opinion. Maybe as DLC, but even then, I don't think he's gonna come back. Shujinko, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw him in the will not. Kai will not. I just don't think these two are popular enough. Moloch will not. Onaga, I have maybe a good chance he could be like the big bad in MK12. And then Reiko will kind of be there to serve him. So I feel like that could be the story plot. Maybe like these two try to like invade the timelines, and then Liu Kang and Shang Tsung have to like maybe team up and stop him, because Onaga is very powerful. I mean, he is the Dragon King, so it's definitely gonna take a team or of some sort to bring him down, because I don't know what other big bad they could introduce other than the One Being, but the One Being's like even more powerful, so I don't know how they would go about that. But Onaga could definitely be the next protagonist, or antagonist, my bad, along with Reiko kind of being like his servant. Ferritor, you know, a lot of people have been saying they want Ferritor to come back, and they've let Ed Boon know that, so I feel like they could come back. If not, definitely DLC. These characters can just, you know, fuck right off. I don't think we're ever gonna see these characters. Maybe Serena, because, you know, there's a whole bunch of Serena fans on Twitter. Serena, give us Serena, you know, kind of like Melina people that are really annoying. But yeah, yeah, we have a I think Serena has a good chance at making it in. Frost, maybe. I don't really have an explanation for her. She was just kind of DLC, or not really DLC. She was a character unlock for story mode, but she was in story mode, so maybe we'll see her. I have no clue though. Cabal, I think he can sit out this game, to be honest, unless they just revamp his gameplay altogether. He was just atrocious in MK11, and I kind of really hope we don't see Cabal return, unless, again, they revamp his gameplay completely. Blaze, I could potentially throw him as another antagonist for MK12, but that's a big, fat maybe. Bo Raicho, he was DLC in MKX, but he wasn't, like, too popular, so yeah, I'm gonna throw him in the knot. I just don't see Bo Raicho returning. He's the least favorite 3D era character. Cyber Sub, I don't think we're gonna see, and Cyber Smoke, I don't think we're gonna see. So yeah, that's really it for this prediction. Remember, this question mark is Striker. So if we go ahead and look, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, a 31 launch roster, and I feel like this could be pretty accurate in my opinion. Maybe there's a few that are wrong, like maybe Human Smoke could be DLC, and then some of these, like of course some of these 3D era characters are going to be on the mainstay roster. I just don't know which ones, so that's why I put them in the maybe, but they're definitely gonna be in, like Hotaru, Lee May, I have a really good feeling she'll be in. And Havoc's definitely a wanted character. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you want to see, or even make up your own roster. Just, you know, let me know what characters you'd like to see the most, And who is your favorite character in the MK universe? I'll just leave that question up in the air. So go ahead and leave your comments below. And that's it for this video. I'm excited for this MK12 reveal that's coming this week. So I hope you are too. I'm sure everyone is. Ed's about to break the internet. But that's it. Darkston signing out. Have a good one.